Morning, fish peeps. Got Whip in here. Got Laura. Laura has another show today. Appreciate you stopping and saying hello. Let me know if the audio and visual is good. Couldn't get to sleep last night. Woke up a little late, so my voice is a little rough. That waking up voice. Got a lot of out. Had some bad thing happen. Had some good things and bad things happen, but in my case, mostly bad. So, like I said, let me know if the audio visual is good. Hey, Jim's Fish. Good morning. Good to see you. The Aqua Escapes. Hello. How are you this morning? So I'll let some more people come in and I'll get to my main subject of this morning's stream. And it's not a good one. I'm bummed out, irritated, disheartened. But this too shall pass. Aqua Escape says he just literally woke up. Same here. I maybe got up 30 minutes ago. I'm usually up earlier, but I couldn't sleep good last night. Just kept tossing and turning. So I usually never sleep until 8. Jim says I got a free 60-gallon bow front that I have to resell. Oh man, I love getting free tanks. Hey Tim, good to see you, buddy. I can't believe I lost that parrot contest in the last hour or so by 2. It was rigged. Don't let Tommy and Jim sway you. It was rigged. Worse than the Trump election, by the way. I love this headset. It sounds great. I can quick mute so I'm not coughing in your guys' faces. Tim only got 2 votes. An hour maybe before that contest ended, I was ahead by 2 or by 1 or 2, and then at the very last moment, magically, Scuba Steve won, coming up 8 votes over me. It was rigged. Whips World, good buddy, good to see you. I was number 4. I came in second, which is a lot better than Tim and the rest of them, but if you ain't first, you're last. So let me just jump into the topic of today's live stream a little bit. Yeah, yours was 3. I didn't vote. If I'm in a contest, I don't vote. Hey, PJ, good to see you, buddy. I believe number 5 was Scuba Steve, and he won. And I like Scuba Steve. He's a good dude. So topic of today's live stream. Fishroom updates and scaping the 300. We're going to go ahead and knock that scaping the 300 out for a while. Why? Because I found a crack in the bottom left-hand corner on the back panel. At the bottom, in the corner. I tried to upload a picture from my iPad to this thing so I can bring it up and show you guys. I'll make a video on it. It's coming from the bottom left-hand corner, and it's arching up like a rainbow over behind the overflow box. Now, it does not come out from the other side of the overflow box. But I know since I set it up, that crack ran, because when we picked it up, we looked at tank over. There was no crack. And when we loaded it up, we put it on boards and foam, and it was strapped secure. When we brought it in to put it on the stand, there was no banging. There was nothing. We carefully got it up on the stand, and it's sitting on foam because this tank doesn't have trim at the bottom. It's just sitting on the glass, which you can do that with aquariums. I see other people doing it. I don't know if larger tanks like 300 gallons come with trim or what the deal is, but this one doesn't have it at the bottom. It does have the trim and the bracing at the top. The tank's in good shape. It's solid. But if you get to looking, you can see where the prior owner dinged that corner. They told me they had this tank in a basement, and it was very hard to get up. It's heavy. They do have the suction cups to pick it up. But I know that they were a little rough with it because even when they set it down, they plugged the overflow holes. The holes are drilled at the bottom. There's 4 of them. They plugged them, which is fine because that's exactly what I was going to do because I run my canister filters on it. But when they set this tank down, they kept setting it down on those fittings, on those PVC fittings, and they busted them up and they cracked them. And one of the nuts got cross-threaded because we had to take them apart, clean the sand out. I lubed those seals, and we tightened them back up in place so they didn't leak because they were loose and banged up and beat up and broken. So they weren't the easiest with it. And I believe when they were taking it out, they must have dinged that corner, but it didn't crack it. It kind of like started it. And by the time I got it loaded up and set it up here and I filled it up with water, the crack started running. So needless to say, I had to drain it, suck all the sand out, put the pleco back in the tank I had them in. Now it's sitting over here dry. Which leads me into my next thing. How do I fix it? Do I fix it? What are my options? My options are this. I'm getting quotes to replace the back glass. When I get this aquarium apart, which I have to buy some suction cups myself because that's a big 8-foot long, 30-inch high, half-inch thick piece of glass. It's heavy. I would imagine I can get the ones at Lowe's. They're selling right now cobalt glass suction cups, like $30 for a set. They do about 265 pounds. If you get 2 of those, I think that's going to be more than enough for one pane of glass at a time. I wouldn't trust them to pick the whole aquarium up. But my options are to replace the glass. I called about 8 glass companies in my area. I got one quote back yesterday, and they want like almost $800 just to replace that piece of glass. Now, that is just plate glass with unpolished edges, because if you ask for the polishing, it's a lot more. So I figured I would just get it raw, and I would sand the edges myself, put a glove on, get that good sandpaper, and smooth the edges. It's a lot of work to reseal a tank, especially a big one like that. Not even just resealing, I'm reconstructing it. Or I had an idea last night. This route, I'm thinking about tearing it apart, completely take everything apart, and just save the front panel and build a plywood aquarium. Now, the nice thing about this is I can make it a little deeper. Instead of being 8 foot long, 30 inches high, and 24 inches deep, I could make it actually deeper. If I make it the size of, say, a complete sheet of plywood, I can make it 4 foot deep, and those calculations come out to like 560 some, or no, it's like 590 some, almost a 600 gallon aquarium. Hey, Cecil, good to see you. So those are my options. Do I spend upwards of $800 on one sheet of glass, tear it apart, and put a new piece on, hoping that that bottom tempered glass at the corner isn't cracked too, which I'm going to be taking it apart anyway, so I'll find that out. And if that's definitely the case, I'll definitely just be building a plywood aquarium, because I don't even know what that size of a glass costs tempered. But at the end of the day, I got the aquarium for $800. I have about $84 built up and making a stand for it. Had about $50 of gas to get it to going down there and back. You know, for that price on a 300 gallon aquarium, even if I replace the glass, you're still coming out in the good. But what's most sensible? What do you guys think about that? And that is where I'm at with the 300. Hey, Peplin, good to see you. So I'm bummed out, I'm irritated. Had it set up and running. I was super excited, and then this happens. But as is life. What would you do in that case? Would you just fix the glass, or would you make like a plywood aquarium and be able to have a larger aquarium when you go that route? If it was your tank, what would you guys do? I want to see what you guys say about that before I move on to the next subject. Hey, Myers. And it was getting close, man. The tank was already cycled. I had it cycled within like 2 days, 3 days. Adding sand from my Oscar tank, adding rocks from existing tank. I was using stability as well to help. And it was cycled. I was going to wait a couple weeks for that and then put my Oscars in. Let's see. Whip says, I don't think you can fix it. My neighbor's family owned and operated a glass shop, and he built many tanks. The problem you run into is you can never get all the silicone out of the pores. And silicone won't stick to silicone. It will almost always fail down the road. You're exactly right, Whip, but that's why we use acetone. Did they try using acetone after they scraped the bulk off? You got to run acetone all around where it was. A lot of people repair tanks. But you're right. You have to get all the silicone off. So even when I fix it and I get that back piece on, I have to completely reseal the tank anyways. Pete Texas, I like the idea of building a plywood aquarium like the Cichlid Bros recently did. I think of a peace of mind and starting fresh as a new, opposed to using the same tank used tank of being cracked. Yeah, and I found out that they weren't the owners of that aquarium too. I am probably the third owner. For all I know, maybe the fourth. It's in good shape. It's a great tank. But that's a good point, Pete Tag. Hey, Allison, good to see you. Says I have two tanks that had cracked panes, 30 and 60. I siliconed similar size panes over the cracked panes. Held so far for over 3 years. Not so that. Okay, that's interesting, Allison, because my buddy of mine, who I work with, used to work for the glass company for years. I brought him over. I had him look at it. And he just said what you're saying. He said, if it was my tank, I would do it just what you're saying. Get another piece of glass just as thick. I don't know if it has to be the exact, because of what you're talking about is doing one big full patch, right? He mentioned that. Is that an option? Do I not tear it apart, dig that silicone out away from the back glass, and then use acetone to clean it all out, and then get another piece of glass and put it on it, which gives you a double wall. So it's going to be, I would think, more support, and it's basically a full patch. What do you think about that, guys? Is that? And Allison says that's what he did, and it's been 30 years. Will that ring true for a tank like a 300-gallon? Would that patch job work? Because I thought about that too. I forgot to mention that. I'm glad Allison said that. Because if that's the case, I could get a little bit of a smaller of a glass piece and put it in there. Do I need 1/2 inch? Can I go smaller? Can I get an 1/8 inch piece of glass, save some money, and just patch it in like Allison did? Hey, Tommy, good to see you, buddy. My 55-gallon has a small chip in the middle of the plain glass. A small drip. Silicone it and been holding 10 years. Yeah, and that's another thing he mentioned if I was doing what Allison said, where I just take a whole piece and cover the front, the back glass that's cracked. When you get to that crack part, really silicone that area too. Of course, you're gonna silicone the whole thing together, get it clamped, get it held in place, let it sit for a day, 24 hours, let it cure, and then reseal the rest of the tank. Do we think that's a good idea? Just cover it, have a new piece. And if so, does it need to be as thick? Do I have to have a 1/2 inch? Definitely need your guys' experience and your thoughts here. Because I got a big, beautiful tank over here I want to be running. And do we tear it apart? Do we make a plywood tank, save the front viewing panel, or do we do like Allison says, and like my buddy I work with, and just put a whole one in the back? What do we do here? That's what I do. I have done the glass pane thing. It works. Are you going to the class? Jeremy from Aquarium is going, and he'd be a great resource doctor if you want to. So you think that's a good idea too, Whip? You've done that? Because I know you got a what, 210? That's a big tank. Oh, and no, Tim, and that's the thing. It never leaked. It is not leaking. I am not going to the Clash Whip. I don't go drive that far to these events, although it would be awesome to come meet everybody. I'm not driving 10 hours. So I hate driving long distances. I'm not built for it. I fall asleep when I drive. It's just too far away. I don't have the time. However, the next time that one comes across in Charlotte, I want to get to it. And hopefully maybe you guys can go to that. Yeah, that's the thing. The tank never leaked. But it's for sure a crack. But it ran over like a rainbow to the first overflow box and stopped. It did not come out the other side. I find that odd with that amount of water weight in that tank that it didn't go whoosh and leak. So if it's not leaking, maybe a patch would work. I thought about that. I talked to Jim about that. His suggestion was to not patch it because it's such a big tank and the crack is at the bottom. There's a lot of water weight and pressure there. I don't think a patch would fix it. Well, I think it would probably be more safe to patch, like Allison and Whip was saying, to just get a whole piece of glass and double wall the back and have one huge patch. I don't know. I need you guys' thoughts on this. I need experience because I want to get this thing fixed, and I will not be defeated by this. And I certainly don't want to have a waste of $800. More than that, like $900 when all said and done, going to get it and everything, building a stand for it. That's all right, Pete Tag. I need everybody's input. Longest drive I have done to an event was 11 hours. Whew. It's a long haul, Allison. I can't do long haul. I'm just not built for traveling. My body hurts. I get stiff. I fall asleep. I fall asleep when I'm driving all the time. Anything over 45 minutes, puts me to sleep like a baby. So let me ask you this, Allison and Whip. So if I did that route where I just got a piece and put it in front of the old one, didn't take the tank apart, used it as one big patch, do I need 1/2 inch thick to match the same glass that's on it, or can I go thinner? Oh, here we go. I didn't use the same thickness of glass. It was a standard 150. It held for years. As far as I know, it's still working today, but I sold it many years ago. Okay. What thickness did you use? Do you remember, Whip? Getting ready to go catch wild fish. Go with the flow and aquarium fantasy. Gonna bring home some Florida flagfish. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool, Swiffle. That sounds like a good time. The difference between us is my glass pane was the bottom, not the side. So from what I understand, on an aquarium, the only sheet of glass that's tempered is the bottom. The rest is just regular plate glass. So you did it, but it was the bottom one. Thank you, Tim. Man, I don't know what to do. I am very distracted by this. I have been waiting for years to get my monster tank. Finally got it, and then this happens. So I'm bummed out. I'm disappointed. I'm disheartened. The two overflow boxes, obviously, if I was going to do a big patch on the back, I'm going to have to cut them out. They'll be in the way, but that's okay because I don't want them in there anyway. They're just taking up space. I can just cut the silicone, pull those overflow boxes out. I'll keep the glass for something else. And if I do that, instead of having the plugs on the bottom holes, maybe I can go ahead and put a glass patch over those at the bottom while I'm at it. Nah, I think it was dinged at the bottom left-hand corner. You can see where they dinged it, not us, them. But when we picked it up, the crack didn't run. Then when I got it here and set it up, there's a rainbow crack. I wanted to get a picture and put it on here. Let me take a picture of it, and I'll show you on screen with my phone. But as we set it up, Peplin, and it was probably maybe running for a week with water in it, and I think that made the crack run even more. It came up like a rainbow to the overflow box and stopped. It did not go to the other side, but the tank was never leaking. 1/4 inch, I think the original pane was still there and absorbing the weight. That's why I went thinner. Yeah, that's why I feel like maybe I should use thicker, being it's the back glass and it's cracked at the bottom. Let me know if you think I should use a thicker one on the back. It's still going to be a little bit of an expensive fix, but my first quote was about $800 to replace that back glass. That is unpolished. That is just the glass and a raw. But if I am doing this patch like Allison and Whip and we're talking about, it can be a little bit smaller because it's going to sit the inside, and if I don't need to stick, that would help too. Corner, do both ends of the crack go to the edges? I don't know. Yes, bottom left-hand corner is where it started. They dinged the corner at one point on the bottom on the tempered side. I think it started there and came up, but it doesn't leak. But I don't see where the crack continues. It seems to stop somewhere at the overflow box. I am not a fan of overflow boxes, maybe for a reef tank. Yes, I don't use sumps either, Allison. I don't like overflow boxes. They take up valuable real estate. I'm going to cut them out. Let me go see if I can get a good picture of the crack and show you here on the screen. Yep, I don't like sumps. I like my canister filters. God dang, everything's in the way. All right, so this is about the, Tim got the stop sign. That's good, Tim, because let me tell you, you were tied last couple weeks ago. I was unable to do my live stream last week. Oh, no. No, so Tim and Mel are now tied for Ninja Games. 4. You each have 4. Cecil is the next in line. He's got 3. So I'm going to show you this picture. I hope you guys can see it okay. It's kind of rough. I know. This is the bottom corner of the tank. You can see this line a little bit. This is not a crack going this way. This is actually my screen that's cracked going that way. The crack on the tank starts right here at the bottom corner. You can kind of see it. It goes up over a little bit like a rainbow and stops right here at the overflow box. It does not appear to be going to the other side of it. I don't know if you guys can see that. This one here. Up and over. Well, that's my ring light. Let me shut the ring light off. Let's try that again. Damn it. You can see it good looking at the phone, but yeah, it's hard to see. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, Peplin, it started at the bottom left-hand corner, and I don't know if it goes any further. But I got to start tearing that aquarium apart, but I can't even do that right now because we're about to have the flooring replaced in the house, and we're going to have to bring the dang birds out here during that time. Yeah, I'll get a good picture of it and do a community post. That's a good idea, Peplin. Maybe I can actually get the phone down in there and just eliminate that front glass so I can get it down in there. But that's where I'm at. I don't know if I should patch it or if I should, because it's apples to oranges. If I tear it apart, you save the front glass to make a plywood aquarium. I'm still buying pond shield plywood. I've already got the screws. Fiberglass. And you got time and money in building the plywood aquarium, but you do get to build. I can build it deeper and have a bigger one. But I don't think building a plywood aquarium is going to cost me as much as it's going to cost me to get one big piece of glass. I appreciate it, Peplin. I'm not stressed about it. I'm just irritated. Like a windshield that cracks, we'll keep traveling. Yep. So then knowing that, being's where the crack is it still a suitable idea to just put another one in front of it? Or is putting another one in front of it, is that just a recipe for disaster? I kind of wanted to build it. I kind of already wanted to try my hand at building a plywood aquarium. Anyways, I wonder if tank manufacturers would offer devices. Maybe reach out to Glassbox. Yeah, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to say, yeah, it's screwed. Buy one for me. I don't even know who makes this aquarium. I asked the lady where she bought it. They bought it off somebody they don't know. I know that there's a sticker on all aquariums that can tell you who made it, but I can never find one. It's probably up underneath. But I think I looked before we set it up and I didn't see one. Yeah, so I don't know if it's worth patching it or just tear it apart and save the front panel and build a plywood aquarium for a little bit cheaper and make it bigger. What would you guys do? I always like the idea of making a plywood aquarium. It would be a fun project. It would be a fun project. I would enjoy it. I hate a plywood aquarium does not look good as a real aquarium. That's my other hitch. Just that tank looks so good sitting there. Now you can make some pretty nice plywood aquariums. I've seen some nice ones and they can look nice. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing them, but you're not going to beat the look of an actual aquarium. But it comes down to brass tacks and money. I've already got about $900 wrapped up this aquarium. Do I spend probably about another $1,000 to get the glass and silicone and all the time to fix it, which is very heavy to work with. It's not going to be easy. Then you got to put it all back together, reseal the whole tank. Or do we just tear it apart, save the front glass, and build a plywood aquarium? What's the smart thing to do here? What would you guys do? If you do the whole bottom patch, you will have to remove the top trim to get the piece. Yep. Yeah, you still gotta tear it apart to a certain length. You're right, Peplin. You got to take the top off the cross braces and once you take the silicone out inside the tank, you got to take it all out, and you're going to have to reseal the entire thing because you can't butt silicone up to silicone. So either way I'm looking at it, I have to reseal the whole aquarium, tear the top apart. That's my issue too, though. Lots of thickness in the wood, putting it all together, and tons of layers of pond shield. Well, I think you only have to do about 2 layers of pond shield. Put some fiberglass in the corners. What you do is once you get it together, you put a whole layer of pond shield all around. You let that cure for 24 hours. You come back, you go ahead and you put another coat in the seams, put some fiberglass down, and do your second coat around the whole thing. Then you let that sit for 24 hours. Of course, when you're building the frame, everything gets wood glued together. After you build the frame and you wood glue everything together, you got to let that sit for 24 hours, which is fine. But when it's all said and done, at that point, all you got to do is slide that glass down in the front, silicone it, put it in there, let it sit for 24 hours, and then you build your top brace for it, and you're good to go. It's really not that bad. I think it's going to be easier to build a plywood aquarium than it is going to be to try to fix this one. Start by giving your wife some flowers and buy a new tank. Not going to happen, buddy. A guy who used to stream, his name was Chris, showed us his procedures in building a plywood tank. He's several setbacks, but eventually got it done. Yeah. Well, Allison, now we got Joey. He shows a nice detailed video how to build them. We've got Aquarium Domain. There's lots of people that are building them now. Swiffle would take it apart and reseal it. Replace the glass and reseal. Let it cure longer than 24 hours. If there are any spots 1/4 inch thicker, it takes longer to cure. Okay, so you'd let it cure for 2 days. Okay. Hey, Garcia, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you. So PLA for it not be cured. Yeah, and you're right, Tommy. Wait 2 days, let things cure. I mean, if you're building a plywood aquarium, let's be patient and do it right. Garcia, yes, to fix a 150. Yeah, I would. After having this 300-gallon tank, my 125s look like baby tanks. Like, I would not be scared to take them apart and reseal those. But this big one, this 300-gallon, the glass is so heavy. I'd try the plywood build. You have 3 sides, but you're right. Nothing beats the look of a nice glass or acrylic aquarium, especially if you're going to be, yeah, exactly. With you can't beat the way they look. So I've got 2 or 3 votes for resealing the tank and replacing the glass. 1 for building the plywood tank. I guess it never hurts to try and maybe see how it goes first. Yeah. But I'm waiting for about 6 other quotes to come in, but I feel like the glass is going to cost me anywhere from $600 to $800. I could have probably, I did the math yesterday. I can have less than that and building the plywood aquarium and keeping the front panel. Hey, Wizzle, good to see you, buddy. Aquarium Domain just built a 4,500-gallon tank. He's building 212. Yeah, I watch him, dude. I like his stuff. Now, Aquarium Domain does a little bit different. He really doesn't build an AKA plywood tanks. He uses plywood, but I noticed he does that method where he stacks 2x4s, one after the other, one after the other, and I'm assuming that's how he does it. For the sides and the front, it seems like he just stacks 2x4s, one after the other, one after the other. I could be wrong about that. Appreciate you, Garcia. Two plywood tanks. Now I want one big one. You'd be doing plywood. Tommy would go with plywood. Sounds like P-Tag would lean towards plywood and whip plywood. I tried taking the rim off my 40 breeder and had enough difficulty to flip the inanimate object off and tell it to F off as I walked away. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to be easy by no means. So irritated. Every time I look at that aquarium, it was running. It was psych what I had fish in it. I mean, let's be honest. Build a plywood tank really isn't that hard. It's a wooden box that's coated to hold water. You just have to make sure you do it right. You got to make sure you use the right adhesives and you seal it well so it doesn't leak. There's enough of these guys out here doing it now. I can watch YouTube videos for reference, and I know I can build it. I've already built things like that. I'm kind of a handyman. Right now, I'm rebuilding a drawer for my kitchen that's been messed up, just making it because I can't find the right size meta boxes that I need for this drawer. So the wife said, "Why don't you just rebuild it?" I'm like, "Okay." So went and got the wood last night, started cutting it, and it's wood glued and brad nailed together. I got to finish it today. So I'm not afraid to build things. I'm not afraid to tackle things, and I know I can build a plywood aquarium. I just have to get the pond shield, the fiberglass, everything needed to do it right. Got two tiger barbs fighting. Hey, you could just keep buying marketplace tanks until you get the one that works. Selling money, yeah, that'd be great, Whip. If I was single, I would still tear this tank apart and I would build a plywood tank out of it just because it's something I've been wanting to do. But I would also start looking for another monster tank, regular aquarium, and I would get that too, maybe bigger. If I was single, there's lots of things that I would do. But the fact of the matter is, family comes first. We got things, repairs going on at the house and changes at the house and bills to pay here. So I can't keep dumping money into aquariums. And even if they are a good price, $200 is $200, $500 is $500. It all adds up. In this inflated world, it's really hard to do what you want. We all know that. Yeah, it would be lots of good content. Yep, I gotta buy it, Garcia. I gotta buy the stuff. I'm tossed up, man. Probably should just go with a plywood aquarium and keep the front panel. It's gonna be cheaper. Good to see you, Jim. Yes, it's something else. It's gonna be fun. So let's move on to the next subject. Fishroom update. Because this 300 gallon came with an FX6, I took it and I just went ahead and added it into my 125 Oscar tank. So right now I've got two FX6s running on my Oscar tank to help keep it seeded, get the beneficial bacteria in it build up. No sense that thing needs to sit empty, so it's running on there with that aquarium. Plus, make the water look nice. So I got that going, and there. I guess honestly, since I got this tank, I've been focused on it. There hasn't been any new changes or updates with the rest of my aquariums. All my fish are doing good. They're happy. I did get a new shipment of Northfin Foods, and I have some giveaways we're going to do. We got the Big Bug Pro. I got a couple of the Little Bug Pros. Got a big bag This is a 250 gram or 8.82 ounce bag of cichlid pellets. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 small bags of nanobites. So my question to you guys is, whoops. When we do these giveaways, we always do that wheel. I like the wheel. The wheel's good. It's a good way to do a giveaway. What's up, Jim? Good to see you. All right. Have a good day, buddy. We usually do the wheel when we do giveaways. Do you guys have any suggestions? I know what Ben Ochart will do when he does a giveaway. He don't use that wheel. He'll like scroll his chat up and down and look away, and whatever his fingers pointing at is who wins. Do you guys want to try something like that instead of doing the wheel? Darius was very generous, contributing a huge box of North End foods for my club. Yeah, and Jim actually got the excuse me, Happy Place Aquatics there. When he was up in Canada, he got to shake hands with Darius and meet him. So Garcia says yes for the scroll chat thing. Let me see. Mine doesn't just like fling though. So I don't know how I would do that. Did you say fastest finger wins? Because that will just turn into who has the best internet connection wins. That's true. He also does the highest super chat a lot. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could do that, but I don't want to like force you guys, even if you wanted to do a super chat. That's why I've never done that. I like the wheel personally, but whatever works best. There are other giveaways, no? What you mean, Allison? I don't know. I've always just done the wheel. But the nice thing about doing the super chat thing is it kind of helps cover the shipping cost for when you do these giveaways. But I've always done the wheel, so bear with me. Let's do one. All right, fish pack peeps. Hashtag Northfin in the chat to be entered into the giveaway. Allison, you spelt that wrong, buddy. North fin. We got Garcia. Let's see, we've got P-Tag. We've got Quizzle. We've got Whip. We've got Garcia. We got Tim. Let's refresh the wheel. I see people input about refresh the wheel, and it's not. It's weird because I refreshed the wheel and it's not working. It's like no one's being entered on it. As you can see, no one's entering. Cecil, you have a space between hashtag and Northfin. You got to bring them together, one word, but this doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Matt's been having trouble with it. Should I kill it and try it again? Because all you guys are put it in here right, and I'm refreshing, and as you can see, nothing's coming up. Let me kill it. Let's try it again. All right, guys, try it again. Hashtag Northfin. It's not working. It's registering, as seen here. What's that? She not laying in bed? She's still in there. I don't know what to say, guys. It's not working. Jimmo couldn't pull the stats up last night. Wheel of names online you could do. Where's those wheel of names at? Let's kill it and try again. We'll try one more time. Let's do something different. Let's go. Hashtag food. All right, guys, on this one, it's going to be hashtag food. There you go, Whip. Just it looks like you ran out of luck. First was Red Parrot Challenge, then was it? Oh, yeah, double loss. You got it, Garcia. Hashtag food, hashtag food. Let's refresh that now. Still don't seem to be working, but I'm gonna let it sit a little bit. Maybe I just need to let it sit a little bit longer. Oh, okay, thanks, Whip. Fired down. I broke the wheel. Fired down, and I broke the wheel. All right, everybody hit hashtag fish. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna have you guys do this before I share the screen. Hashtag fish. I'm gonna let you guys type all that in. And the first giveaway we're gonna do is if the stupid wheel work. Is this big bag of cichlid pellets. Hey, good morning, Shirley. All right, let me check the wheel. All right, guys, it's not working. We've tried it 4 different times with 4 different words and 3 different ways. So let's think of a different way to do this. My headphones are bigger in my head. Yeah, they're comfortable. I love these things, though, man. I can walk around, do things. I like them. I like these better than a regular mic. That's why I got them, so I can walk around. I want to do a tank maintenance stream soon. Um, and these are perfect for that because I got some cleaning to do. I got some algae to clean up. All right, so I want to do this giveaway. I got to think of something. Maybe we could do like a Q&A thing. Oh, okay. Write a number down between 1 and 100. Okay. That's a good idea. I'll even do it in Sharpie. Hey, Whip, what does Dancefish use? The link picks the hashtag one. Okay. Also says, excuse me. Austin puts the names in a hat for a giveaway 2 weeks ago when the wheel wouldn't work. A memorable 300 sub party for sure. That's a good idea. There's different ways we can do. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So we're gonna go with this way. We're gonna narrow it down though. I'm gonna say from 0 to 50. Pick your number in the chat. You don't have to do hashtag. Just put your number from. Pick a number from 0 to 50. Whoever's closest gets this win. Can somebody give me a stop sign? I'll give it like, I don't know, 60 seconds so everybody can get it in. I'm already seeing who's closest. Yeah, who got that stop sign first? P-Tag got it. And like I said on last stream, we're going to wait until we get the end of this month. We're going to end Ninja Games, and whoever wins, we're going to start fresh for that. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop there. Let's look back and see who's the closest. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, Ninja Games is going to go month to month just because money wise, I could spread that out because I'm doing other giveaways and things that cost money to send. Which having memberships, my members of the channel help greatly with this. So shout out to my members for helping make these things possible because all that revenue I get from the channel, I can put back in and give back to you guys. So all that stuff helps. All right, so I got the winner of this giveaway here. And it is Swiffle. I wrote down 30. He guessed 32. The next closest was Allison, 34. So Allison won, or Swiffle won. The cichlid bag. Oh, the cichlid bag pellets. They are, what are these? 3mm. No, it's Garcia. So I like to do at least 2 of these a stream, but I got to thinking if I do 2 of these a stream, my food that I could send out is going to run out faster. Do you guys think I should do 2 giveaways in a stream or 1 giveaway on a stream? Swiffle, you need to email me or message me on, the best way is to message me on Discord privately and send me your address and I'll get this sent over to you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I never win anything, Shirley. Awesome. Just like I said, private message me on Discord, send me your address. I'll get this sent out to you. I have this new thermal printer I got for this. That I get to try out. Comes with the paper. And I have a scale that I use to weigh it and bubble mailers. So I use pirate ship and create a label and send it out. I don't really play these to win, just to be active because I talk so little. That's all right, Aquascape. I want you guys to all have a chance to win for sure. So channel gets bigger, and the bigger things I get, the better the gifts, especially if you are a channel member. I have to give them more valuable giveaways when I get them. So keep that in mind if you're interested in more valuable giveaways like filters and more expensive things that cost us a lot of money in this hobby, and I happen to have it when I get it. I do have a sponsorship with Higer, and I do have a sponsorship with Northwind Foods, and Higer did send me another product to review. It is here. I've got to get it in the tank, and I've got to do a video on it. That's something else we could think about doing too. Like if they send me a product that I'm not really going to use or can't use, if you guys are okay with it being used for a little while, to do a review on it and see how it does and give it an honest review. If you're fine with something like that being slightly used, I can even box those back up and send to you guys. Like, because I keep all the boxes to these things. I'll make sure they're dried out and stuff. We can do that. But Higer sends me products to review. I have to use them. I have to put them in aquarium. If I like it, I'll keep it. If something I really can't use, I could dry it out, box it back up, and send to you if you're fine with it being slightly gently used. Yeah, I'm working on that, Garcia. I contacted Higer about the canister filters, but right now they're not sending those out because they need upgraded. So they're refurbishing all their canister filters, and then when they do, I might be getting one of those, but we'll see. I was thinking of doing the same thing with the Higer product. Yeah, I don't know if I are you allowed to do that? I don't know all those rules and regulations, but the fact of the matter is, I like Higer's products. The reason why I contacted them to see if they'd be a sponsor is because I do like their products. They make some really cool, innovative stuff. Jim knows that. P-Tag knows that. They're all Higer affiliates now, and they're great to work with. And I'm really impressed with their products at a good price. But some of these, like these products that they send me, like this new thing, it's very cool. I love it. It's awesome. but I really don't need it. So if you guys are fine with having a slightly used product, I can, if you are a member, I would have to do a members only live stream. Well, I don't need to do a members only live stream because I know who my members are. Um, I can go ahead and do stuff like that if you're interested, but it's only if you're fine with using, like I said, gently, slightly used products. I keep the boxes, I can dry them out, and I can send them. I need a few canister filters. I like my canisters. I've never had a Higer light. They haven't sent me one. Nycrew sent me 4 lights, and they're doing good. And they're a nice light too. Yeah, if I'm buying a canister filter, it's going to be Flugel. Yeah, that's right, Swiffle. Cecil's fine with that. If you're talking to me, Allison, her name's Nicole. That's my main contact. Yeah, they're expensive. Here's the thing. I don't even buy mine new. I've got new ones, but they were a much cheaper price on the Facebook market site. But all the other ones I got came used with tanks like this recent one, and it runs fine. I tear them apart. I clean them out. I remove every O-ring, and I clean and lube those seals and put everything back together. Good to go. Her name's Nicole. That's my main contact, and I'm pretty sure that's Jim and P-Tag's main contact too over there at Higer. Whip says, I like them too. I have all kinds of their stuff. I really like their air pump, and their heater seems to work great too. Yeah, I like them. They're great. They're coming up with some awesome stuff. Now, did you guys watch my, and if I could have a moderator go to my channel and share the video I did on the Higer fish waste collector. If you could share that in the chat, I want to talk about that product a little bit because I am getting, since that video, last I checked, it was something like 11,000 views. And maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was the Powerhead, one of them. But either way, I'm getting a lot of traction on that fish waste collector. There is a lot of people interested in that product. I just had a comment from a fella from India contact me about needing help with it. He just bought it. I have another guy I've been going back and forth with all week that's having the same trouble I was with it, regulating the flow in the gravity fed, because it's gravity fed. It's basically, I call it a plug and play sump. You get everything you need to hang on the back sump filter, right? But you still have to buy the canister or DIY canister filter, and you still have to have a pump to send it back in the aquarium. Well, they sent me the pump too, and it's 1,060 GPH. It was not keeping up with the flow from the gravity of the water going into the container. No matter what I did, it was either coming in too fast or if it was coming out too fast. You should be able to turn that valve that flows it into the container all the way so you have full suction and full power. The pump at 1,060 GPH was not fast enough. It's just not. So I contacted Higer. I said, can you ask your dev team what size pump is needed to keep up with this thing? And their reply was between 2,000 to 3,000 GPH pump to be able to return it and keep up with the flow into the container. Higer sells some really cool DC pumps with controllers. I love their pumps. I love the fact that they're DC. Their Powerhead, their inverter Powerhead that I did a review on, that video has about 11,000 views. It's DC controlled. DC pumps are awesome. They're less maintenance. They last longer. And they're more consistent. To buy that pump to keep up with that fish waste collector on Higer's website, unless you just can find a cheaper option like Vivasun or Vivasun or however you say it, or anything, you're going to spend about $120 to $150 for that pump. I love the fish waste collector idea. I love the fact that when it's running, you can go up to it, put a pitcher or a bucket, open it up, clean it out, and it keeps going. It even comes with the little skimmer at the top. Again, it's like a great thing they built there. I am not going to purchase $150 pump to run it. So that is a product I could do a giveaway, guys, if you're interested. Let me go grab it and I can show it for you. I have it together still over here. Let me get caught up here a little bit. I don't think you should make a members only, though. Some of us have ongoing war with Google Play. No, I won't do members only. I'll do a regular stream. I know who my members are. Whips World, I think you were gifted a membership. You're a member right now. Yeah. Yeah, it has 11,000 views. Never did solve the issue, Whip. I can't get it solved. I can't imagine having that many views on something. I've got 500 in some of my videos, and that was good. Yeah, every once in a while, some of my videos take off. Have a great day, guys. Appreciate you hanging out, Garcia. But it's very rare that I get good views. I might be going to the Clash to help Night Owl, but it gave me a ticket to be... But gave your ticket to Big Steve. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Whip. Okay. Let me go grab this fish waste collector and show this to you. And we're going to go ahead and do another giveaway. Let me let you guys pick. We're going to do another giveaway after this. Is it going to be Bug Pro or a small, this is for small fish now, nanobite packet? This is not a sample bag of food. You can get them in bigger, but this is what it comes in. So I always say I don't give away little sample bags of food. I don't do that. This is packed full. Nanobites, Bug Pro. Which one do you guys want to do next? This is going to be the 130-gram container of Bug Pro and 0.7 ounces of nanobites. You pick which one you want to do next. I'll go grab that fish waste collector. Let me bring up Discord real quick, too. We've got, I think Swiftle's cutting a hold of me here. No, don't switch. Messages. There. Add friend. I got you, Swiffle. Just send me that. Bug Pro seems to be everybody's favorite. I like their Krill Pro too. All right, guys. This thing is a monster. It's Richard H. First time here. Hey, Richard. Always like to see new people. First time here. Wondering what is a good starting tank size for enjoyment and keeping maintained and fish types for a new person. The question is for anyone that gives advice. Well, I already know the answer to that. I think lots of people are going to chime in with that. That's a favorite question for us fish keepers. My answer to that, Richard, a bigger tank, in my opinion, is always better. The smaller the tank, the more maintenance. However, so if I were you, depending on what kind of fish that you want to keep, big or small, I would need to know that. But even if it was small, I would pick at least 55 gallons and up, just because you have more water volume to work with. You're going to have less maintenance. It's more forgiving for a new fish keeper, and you will make mistakes. This is my first aquarium I ever had right here, 55-gallon aquarium. With the smaller tanks, you're going to have more algae building up. If you have an issue, you're going to have more ammonia and things like that building up. However, there's a caveat to that. If you set up one of these dirted sand cap tanks that are plant controlled, you never have to do anything to them. I've got 2 of them running. All I have to do is top the water off. You don't even need a filter. I do like to run an air stone or a sponge filter in there just to keep the water going from stagnant. But with those natural dirted sand cap tanks that are plant controlled, meaning they filter all the ammonia, the nitrite, the nitrates, they add the oxygen into the aquarium, you don't have to do anything. What you do is you get like an inch of organic, it has to be organic soil, and then you cap that with about 3 inches of sand, and you slide your plants in sideways, as many as you can put in there, and you're going to be good to go. Now, you still need to let the aquarium cycle. There's multiple ways to do that without having to put fish in it. So those are your options. Get a big tank, put some sand in there. If you know somebody that keeps fish, you can put have them give you some media that's established from their aquarium that you can put in your filter that'll help instantly cycle that aquarium. That's the best way, but you still got to start off slow. Don't throw a bunch of fish in there. You got to let your good bacteria time to build up. Picture the good bacteria as an expandable rubber band. It's going to expand and contract to the sides of the load of the tank. If you overload it, the band is going to snap. So you have to add maybe 6, 7 small fish, wait 2 weeks, let it catch up, then you can add some more. Maybe 1 big fish if you're going with big fish. Wait a couple weeks, let that bacteria catch up, and then you can add more. Small fish, but whip's right, the biggest you can afford. Bigger is always better. 40-gallon breeders, 60 gallons, 75, depending on your space. But these guys are all giving you great answers. Hey, June, good to see you. And I see you became a member again. I appreciate you. I thought you were mad at me, June. I thought you hated me. You got rid of me. So it's always good to see you. All right, so look at this, guys. This thing is a monster. I think you guys seen my video, but me actually sitting here holding it live can give you a real good idea. When you put, I modified it a little bit to make this longer because I tried this on my 300-gallon before it let me down. But this thing is a monster. I call it a plug and play sump filter. It is the Higer fish waste collector. You just literally hang it on the side and you have your sump down below. The biggest selling feature of this that I like a lot is while it's running, you can come up to these right here. All your crap's going to collect in these sight gauges. You put a bucket, a pitcher under these, you open it, all the crap comes out, you close them, and it keeps on running. It's a quick, clean sump. To get this thing started, once you got it, also this is at the top, it's your little skimmer. Once you have full gravity flow, this thing spins like a beast, and it makes a little skimmer on the top of your surface of your water. It runs and works really good. It does its job. It's just that you have to have anywhere from a 2,000 to 3,000 GPH pump to keep up with it. I can't use it. I'm not going to buy that pump to make it run. This is something that I can do a giveaway on for my members only. If you're interested in doing that, let me know. I have the box. It has piping in it. It's already together, but it comes the instruction booklet. It's very well detailed. It's very easy to assemble. I will have to tear this apart, put it in the box to send it to you. If you're interested, I can do this as my first members only giveaway stream. Now, it'll be a regular live stream, but only members can have a chance to win this. It is cool. I like it. It's a fantastic idea. You just have to have a big pump that I'm not willing to buy because I don't need it. I'm not a sump guy. Let me know in chat. Now, this is the other end of it. This is the output. You hang this on the other side of your aquarium. It has an out here and it has an out here outlet. Of course, this connects to the hose coming from your pump that you'd have to buy. All put together. Very simple, all PVC. But a lot of people are commenting and asking me questions on that fish waste collector. There's some big interest in it, and I can see why. I like it a lot. I like the idea. I just cannot use it. The orange is awful. They make a gray one. You can paint it. You could paint it, but you'd have to make sure you're using a non-toxic paint because they do go in the water. Yeah, it's huge. It is. I think it was J-Rock said it best. It looks like a rocket ship. So I hope you got your question answered, Richard. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. But if you're looking for a self-sustaining aquarium, you're going to want to get into the dirted sand-capped aquariums that are plant controlled. It sounds like that's what you're after. And you can go up to a 55. I think Patty's Aquatics has a 60-gallon setup that way. But if I was going to suggest a tank for you, if you're still here, Richard, is I would suggest a 20-gallon long. Beautiful tank. Love the footprint. Inch of organic dirt. You can get it at Lowe's, Home Depot. 3 inches of sand. As many plants as you can get and stuff in there. And then you can put some ember tetras, neon tetras, guppies, whatever you wanted in there. And that would be a beautiful tank that will maintain itself every once in a while. All you're going to have to do is top it off. I don't even have algae that I got to scrape off in those tanks. But a 20-gallon long is a beautiful tank. I think that'd be perfect for you, Richard. You were a member, but I don't think it's, for some reason, June, I think it kicks you out after a month and you have to re-up. For some reason, it's not continual. It is big. That was one of the biggest comments on that, June, is the size of it and how it doesn't look so good on the aquarium, which I get. Yeah. What the heck? Yeah, I agree, Brizzle. 55-gallon aquarium is narrow. If I was going to choose between a 55 and a 75, I'd go with the 75. You get 6 more inches of depth there. Whip set it, yep. Can it be painted? You can paint anything as long as it's non-toxic paint. Yeah, that's their colors, but I know that you said that in that video too, Whip. They do have a gray version that you can purchase. Yeah, I use Aquarium Krylon on my. I remember when you were asking for opinions on how to what paint to use to paint your tank. I said Krylon. I use a spray paint, but that's on the outside. Do you have a store or commerce site to buy self-sustaining tanks? I do not, Richard. I don't do that. You don't. All you need to do, man, is go to your local PetSmart or your local Petco. Get a 10-gallon, 20-gallon, whatever size aquarium you want, and then you're going to have to go to Lowe's. Get some of that organic dirt. Sand, you can use. You have options with sand. Whoops. You can use pool filter sand. You can use black diamond sandblasting sand. You can use play sand. I don't know where you're from, but Tractor Supply, where I live, they sell what's called a the name's escaping me, but it's basically like a play sand, but with that sand, it has a little bit bigger of like gravel pieces in it, so you get that sandy gravel look, and it's fine. I do suggest on any of these sands that you use, you're going to want to rinse them out a little bit in the garden hose in a bucket. Just put the sand in a bucket, put your garden hose in there, and walk away, let it run. Stir it up every once in a while until the water starts running clear. If you don't, you have a high chance of having a big foggy mess that takes a while to clear out, depending on what sand you're using. I really don't have that problem too much with pool filter sand. And that's all you got to do, man. You're gonna save money just collecting these things yourself than going online and finding a store that actually has these kits put together. Um, so if I were you, that's what I would do. Just go get the tank, go get the organic soil, go get the sand. Um, if you're gonna buy plants, Father Fish sent me his plants when I set this tank up. He picks his plants from the wild. They're beautiful. They're doing great. Um, Anybody who sells plants, if you wanted to buy them online, but then again, you can also go to your PetSmarts or your Petco's. They sell plants, but they're very limited in what they sell. They don't have plants a lot to pick from. It's always the same thing. Amazon swords. Um, they got some Java fern and things like that. But you can buy plants online. You put these things together yourself, you're going to save a lot of money, and you can design it and aquascape it any way you want. Stones, gravel. Again, you can get a bag of stones from PetSmart, or you can go outside of your backyard and pick some stones you might like, and rinse them off and put them in there. It's safe. Yeah, gray is not bad. Gray is not too bad at all. Yeah, Father Fish. He has an e-commerce store. He sells wonderful plants. He sells plant packages. You can even buy his dirt on there. I got his dirt in this one tank. He's got a little bit of special dirt. Cecil can't use that. Um, June, she said it wouldn't fit on like a 240-gallon tank, but I was able to hook to my 300-gallon tank just by extending the pipe a little bit where it hooks on. So you can use it for a 300-gallon and down. Uh, you can even use it for a 300-gallon and up. It'll go on. You just have to cut one of the PVC pipes that come in a box to extend that out so it goes over the lip a little bit. It has to go on the side of your aquarium so you can get to it and open those waste collectors. A 3-foot long 30-gallon is a nice starter, not the 29. I agree, Allison. I have a 29. I'm not the biggest fan of a 29-gallon. I don't like the footprint. And it seems like in a 29-gallon aquariums that the evaporation is worse in it. I don't know if someone brand new should attempt the Father Fish method, though. Do you have experience with growing plants? You might be able to handle it. On the contrary, Whip, I think that's the perfect aquarium for a new person to start because it's literally no maintenance. It wasn't hard. I set this up in 10 minutes when he was on my live stream. 1 inch of organic dirt, 3 inches of sand. Deep substrate is important to him. When you get your plants, push them in sideways. You don't want to push them down into the dirt, just above it, because I'm told that it's possible that the roots could burn on fresh dirt like that. But I set another tank up like that, and I pushed the dang roots right into the dirt, and they never burnt, and they're doing fine. But it's very simple. You don't even need a filter, but you do have to cycle the aquarium. Keep in mind the nitrogen cycle. Very important to understand the nitrogen cycle. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm going to try and get a 60-gallon self-stain. You can definitely do that, Richard. Get you a 60-gallon. Now, the bigger the tank, keep in mind you're going to need a little bit more dirt. So if you were getting a 60-gallon aquarium, I would recommend maybe 2 inches, at least 2 inches of the dirt, capped with 3 inches of sand. Pick your rocks, pick your plants. Go to Father Fish, tell him I sent you. And if you'd like to, if someone could find one of my moderators, if you can dig it up, the live stream where I had Father Fish come up and he actually set the aquarium up with me. I had the tank, he sent me the dirt, he sent me the plants, and on that live stream, we set this Father Fish tank up from start to finish. It was very simple. If they share that, you can tap that link and you can watch that for reference if you'd like. 100 gallons of good starter tanks. I agree, June. The bigger the better. More water volume, less room for mistakes. But a 60-gallon will be a great tank, and that gives you a lot more options, Richards, of what fish you want to put in there. Now, keep in mind, something to mention about a dirted tank. If you're going to pick a fish, you do not want a fish that digs the sand. Any of your African cichlids are out. Don't get an African cichlid. Don't get any. Don't get an Oscar. One, a 60-gallon aquarium is too small for an Oscar, and number two, Oscars dig, 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 dig. If you're going to do small fish, your neon tetras, your cardinal tetras, your ember tetras, your guppies, your rasboras, killifish, lots of options. If Shirley's still in here, she's a big killifish person. Um, these will all be great. I would love to see a beautiful dirted tank packed full of plants and packed full with 100 neon or cardinal tetras. I think that would look amazing. You're in Georgia, so Santa's no problem. That's right. I'm in North Carolina, Richard. I'm not far from you. That's what I think. Yeah, I think too. Those are good regular plants for most tanks. Yeah. And, if he's getting a 60-gallon aquarium, he could do a nice couple beautiful Amazon swords in there that get real big. When they hit that dirt, these plants grow lush and beautiful. So you don't need to use liquid fertilizers to maintain them. The dirt is going to do it. Another thing, all the malm and the uneaten food and poop that lays at the bottom of the substrate, don't take it out. Leave it there. It's going to break down. It's going to go into your soil, and it's only going to further add nutrition for your plants. So you don't have to do any of that. The only thing you're going to have to do once you get this tank set up, you get it cycled and it's established, is all you have to do is water top offs every once in a while. Now, I don't know what kind of water you have. If you're in Georgia down there, I'm assuming if you don't have well water, I'm assuming you're using your city tap water. You're going to need to get yourself a good dechlorinator, something like Prime. Seachem Prime is my favorite. Fritz makes another good one. Any of them will work for you, whichever route you want to go, but Seachem Prime is my favorite. Why is Seachem Prime my favorite? Because not only does it dechlorinate water, if you happen to have an issue with ammonia nitrite, nitrate, it will detoxify those because your ammonia and your nitrite is very toxic and harmful to fish. It'll kill them. Prime will dechlorinate it. Now keep in mind, Prime will detoxify those things. Keep in mind, it only detoxifies those things for up to 24 hours. It does not remove them. It buys you time to figure out your problem. Maybe you have a dead fish in there. Maybe you have too much plant or biomatter that's building up, or don't overfeed. Maybe you're overfeeding your fish and you have too much food rotting at the bottom of the aquarium. This will detoxify that until you figure out what the problem is. You still have to fix the problem. That using that prime is just a band-aid. It buys you time to keep your fish alive. You still have to fix the problem. Do they make 100-gallon tanks? 90s and 110s are all I've seen, but I know there are a ton of. Yeah, there's all kinds of tanks. Every time I look, I see some weird number, but then you got to be careful because some people post them wrong. I've seen it on the Facebook market site where people say, "Oh, this is a 75-gallon aquarium." I can see visually it's a 55, and then I ask them for the dimensions and confirm it and say, "Yeah, that's not a 75. That is a 55." Richard became a member. I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you more than you know. That helps the channel out so much, and so I thank you for your membership. You can message me on any videos and Richard, you're more than welcome. Everyone's invited to become over to my Discord channel. Over there, everybody in here, everyone you see here is in there. We all talk fish. You can share your pictures. You're more than welcome to come over there and get some help and some advice, and we're all going to help you out. It's a great community. The link, and maybe someone can share my Discord link. I don't know, but it's up in my channel bio. Tap it, come right in. You're on Discord. You're more than welcome to come in. It's free. I don't charge that. I don't ask anything for that because I like to get to know my people. Dustin Fish Tanks does have some good plants, and it gives you plenty of them. Okay, I've never bought from them, so I appreciate that experience, Cecil. Thank you, June, for welcoming. 29s are just 20 longs. Nah, they're a little bit bigger, but they are tall. They're too tall. I don't like the footprint of a 29. The learning does not scare me as a new tank person. What I mess up is I will learn from. Thanks for all. Oh, you're most welcome. Thanks for coming in. Like I said, join the Discord, Richard. You get some on-tap help there. I call it on-tap help. So that way you're not just relying on commenting on a video and everyone's YouTube channels are lined up. I have created a channel in the Discord link. It's kind of YouTube channels. You can tap in there and Goes right to anybody, any of these guys' channels and women. Oh, it's a 29 is, wait, what did he say? 20 longs. I disagree. A 29 is not the same as a 20 long. It's not the same footprint. I got a 29 sitting here and a 20 long sitting right here. And the 29s are, oh, never mind. I see what you're saying. It's just taller. Yeah. I'm heading out, taking the fam out to a science museum near Fort Worth. New exhibits open today. All right, Tommy, that sounds like a good time. You have it. Good time, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Really starting a tank without a filter and keeping everything like it seemed would be difficult. It is. So what I did, Whip, is when I started it, when I started these, I did go ahead and put a sponge filter in. That's all you need. You can put a sponge filter in it or a small hang in the back. Once the tank cycled, I took them out. And then the plants take over. It's a hard thing to get used to. I was talking to Patty's Aquatics about this because, you know, everyone drives, hey, filter, you got to have a filter. Well, you just don't, when especially in those aquariums. At first, if you want to use a small sponge filter designed for a 10-gallon tank, Richard, you can do that to help get it cycled. But once it cycles, maybe give it a couple more weeks, and then you can take them out. Patty's Aquatics did that. He has a video on it, and his fish are fine. Mine are fine. Thank you for sharing that, P-Tag. I'm here. Biggest piece of abuse for killifish is make sure you got a tight fitting lid. Okay, so the killifish jump. Killifish are nice, Richard, because they come in a lot of pretty colors. Advice, not abuse. I was going to say, maybe we don't want to talk to Shirley. She abuses her killifish. She probably sits at the top of the tank on the weekends going, poking them. Just sick stuff. All right, and there's that link to my live stream with Fatherfish. Thank you, Whip. P-Tag's going to head out. All right, buddy. Good to see you. You have a good weekend too, my friend. I ignored the last two words. That's all right. You can sing if you want to, P-Tag. If you want to sing, you sing, buddy. There's the Discord link. P-Tag or Whip is on top of that. Okay, I'm caught up on chat. We've helped Richard. Richard has become a part of the good guys now, and we got him sorted out. And Richard, feel free. Don't be afraid to ask questions at any time. And we'll see what we can do to help you. Let's do the next giveaway. So did we pick? I see Cecil voted for Nanobites. Nanobites or Northfin Bug Pro? Fish Fam link wheel. I'm going to try it one more time for this one. We're going to try it again just because I like the wheel. Ah, dang it. All right. Let's see if it'll work this time. Everybody put hashtag Northfin in the chat to be entered in the giveaway. Hashtag Northfin, one word, no space. Hashtag Northfin. Just like the Fish Fam link bot put there. We'll see if we can get it to work this time. Whip says Nanobites. He hates buying food for his guppies. Same fish like to be abused. Charlie's got it in there. We'll see if it works this time. We tried this 4 times on the last one and it wouldn't work. I'm going to let you type that in and we'll refresh it. There are some back-end processes that have been kind of spotty for FFL the past week or so. Matt said that the third-party API that he uses, which allows some of these features to consistently work, has been malfunctioning. So he's working on resolving that, but until then, there are certain things that may go in and out. Well, I appreciate that information, Whip, for letting us know that. Let me go ahead and refresh the wheel, and hopefully it's working this time for us. And no, it is not working. So scrap the hashtag. June's playing for Richard. Okay. Normally we have a cool wheel, Richard, for doing this, but it's not working right now. So we're going to do the number thing again. That was from Jenna? Okay. Thank you, Jenna. I wrote down a number. You have to pick a number from 0 to 50. You don't have to do hashtag in front of it. Just pick the number and put it in chat. I'll give you 1 minute. It's 10:41 right now. So go ahead. 0 to 50. Pick a number. It looks like everybody wants to go for the nanobytes on this one. Noski's in. Hey, buddy. I will wait till 10:43. Make sure everybody picks a number. I'm going to check Discord here while that's going. Swiffle, send me your address, bro. All right, let's end it. That's 10:43. Oh my God. I see who won. That was the last moment, dude. So I thought it was going to be Jim's Fish, but at the last moment, Whip came in as the winner. I wrote down 48. Whip guessed 47. So Whip won that one. Congratulations, Whip. Whip, all you have to do is get into Discord, private message me your address, buddy. And we'll get that sent out to you. Where's someone's last number I thought of? Jim, Whip, you were the closest, but at the last moment, Whip guessed 47 and the number was 48, so he won. but Jim would have been second. He would have been first. Football number. Okay. Cool. So I got to send some cichlid pellets to Swiffle, and I got to send some nanobites to Whip. And don't worry, I have more food for more giveaways. And it doesn't seem like anybody's interested in that fish waste collector. Is that right? I have to go to the bathroom real quick. Someone hit me a stop sign. Don't forget, Ninja Games is always rolling. So I will be right back. Tim for the stop sign. So that puts Tim ahead. Tim has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mel has 4, and Cecil is at 3. Those are the top 3 for the Ninja Games right now. Whip, you want me to send it to Jim? Jim's Fish. If you're in this scored, right, man, DM me, send me your address. If you're, yeah, you're in there. Yeah, just DM me on Whip. That was nice, Whip. Thank you, sir. I see Whip with 4, not seeing 47, maybe stroking out. I also don't see Jim's Fish. Man, I'll tell you what, Allison, I was having that issue a while back where no one was seeing my comments on live streams. I think it's oh, I deleted it. I guessed 4, 7, and 4, but deleted 7 and 47, maybe because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to guess multiple times. StreamYard doesn't delete the comments, so Jesse still saw it. Okay, Jim, DM me on Discord, direct message me. Send me your address, and I'll send these out. Appreciate Allison, though, being a moderator and keeping an eye out for these things. All right, what do we have? So here's what I'm going to do. We talked about the 300. We talked about the fish room. We've done 2 giveaways. We had some great conversation. We got a new member. We've got a new friend, Richard. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to go to the 2-hour mark. We have about 7 minutes to go. I sent a link to myself so I can walk you guys around the fish room. And then after we're done with that, we'll go ahead and end it because I have some things to take care of. I did not send myself a link. Forgot to put the link in there. Now it'll work. I'm having a delay. Gotta mute this. Okay. I'm gonna walk you guys around the fish room. So right here to my left, this is the 10-gallon flutter fish aquarium. There's 2 glowfish in here I rescued from the community, and they keep it going for me. The plants are doing great. I moved some of these plants over here to the 55-gallon Tigerbarb tank. See all this frog bait or whatever it is. This is just a 20-gallon long dirty tank, community, bunch of small fish in there. Here's my male mustard gas beta doing well. He's ready for something to eat. Female beta. It's like a jungle aquarium. And then this last one, there's a longfin serpe tetra in here. It's a little dirty. Here's where I keep all my food, supplies, tools. Fish cart's a little messy. Building a shelf right here. Here's the 29-gallon. Yeah, Tim, I'm going to show that crack. Hopefully you guys can see it. I got to be careful because there is a new Hydra product sitting right here on top of this that I have got to do a video on. Here's the 300-gallon that broke my heart. Like, it cracked my heart like a crack in the glass. I don't know how well you can see. Here's this overflow box. Down here in this bottom left-hand corner is where the crack is. Wish I had something to reach this dang camera down in here with. Let me grab my ladder. See if I can get you guys down in here. Can you guys see that crack? It goes from that bottom left-hand corner and arches over to this overflow box. Well, the actual back glass, June, is broken, and I drained it, cleaned it out. To replace this back glass, it's going to be about anywhere from $700 to $800. Do I reseal it and fix the glass, or do I just tear this tank apart, keep the front glass, and make a plywood aquarium? Yeah, you see it, Tim? Yeah, I know it's done. That's why I drained it. You can see it's got a pretty good mark there, and arches up and goes over to there. So you guys getting a good view of it now? And I'll show you where it started. You can see on this corner that it took a little bit of a whack right here, and that spidered it over. You can see this stuff right here is all damaged, and it runs over. I don't think you can reseal it, June. I mean, we've talked at the beginning of the live stream. If you look back, we talked about a lot of options with it. Uh, I would have to replace that whole panel because since I've got it, it's running. It's getting longer. And with this amount of water weight and pressure, especially at the bottom, I wouldn't trust it. Here's my angelfish growing out. They're ready for something to eat. They're looking good. I raised these guys up from fry. Mr. Jack Dempsey. Mr. Jack. Kara says, just stopping by to say good morning, everyone. Hope you have an awesome, peaceful Saturday. About to head out to the nephew's birthday party. Appreciate you coming in, Eric. Kara. Everybody's ready for something to eat. Buy Northfin food. It's the best. My wife made this for me a while back. Richard says it would be a resin plug patch, so to speak, just that entire corner to strengthen it. Yeah, Richard, we talked about a couple things. Oh, I missed this. If you use a non-toxic resin, you could patch, cover it with dirt, sand, and nobody would know. Just have to get a clear acrylic resin and hardens with a 20-pound strength bond. And June agrees with that. Wow, so this is an option I didn't think about. That's a 300-gallon aquarium. The crack being at the corner and spidering over, I just want to make sure it's going to hold. It's a lot of water pressure. Coming over here to the 125-gallon fancy goldfish tank. All these are just sitting in here because I had these in the 300. I had to remove them. If you guys, Richard, if you think I can repair it, June thinks I can repair it, and it'll hold, I would love to do it cheaper because it's going to be about $800 to fix that, replace that panel, tearing the whole tank apart. 125-gallon community tank. These are my blood parrots that got robbed and rigged at the last boat, at the last minute on my stream. They should have won. We all know it. You guys know it. These tanks are getting algae. You got to do some maintenance, but this is my 75-gallon and Buna tank. I like this view over here. All the pothos, the Northfin banner, got the green lights going like some kind of a young punk. Okay. So you think I could put a resin plug patches? Richard, could you do me a favor? Now that you made it into the Discord, could you look that product up and share me a picture of it? And June thinks it's possible. Same technique they use on patching safety glass with your windshield. I've found out the chemical perfect. Appreciate the help, Richard. I'm distracted by a kitten. You're always distracted by kittens, June. They're always messing with you. Yes, if you guys think that there's another way to save this 300-gallon aquarium, that's one of the biggest reasons of the topic of this live stream is to see if there's other options. We discussed it earlier this morning. We talked about tearing the tank apart and just saving the front panel and making a plywood aquarium. I talked about just getting another piece of glass and putting it in front of the existing one and siliconing it in place, making basically a double walled back tank that's just like a whole wall patch. I talked about replacing it, tearing the tank apart, putting a new one on, but that's going to be very expensive. If you guys think that I can patch that crack and save that panel, reseal the entire aquarium, I would be a happy guy. I don't know if silicone would hold up. I don't know if silicone would have the strength to hold that glass together because that's a pretty decent crack. Now, here's the thing: the tank was never leaking; it was just cracked. So if there is a better way, if there is a better way to save this tank, maybe I could save that by a hardened, strengthened epoxy or bond like Richard's talking about. I'd certainly be willing to try it. Uh, I'm bummed out. I got my first monster tank and I can't even use it. I had to drain it to fix it. So you guys let me know. Liquid glass. Have you heard of that done before, June, where you just like have liquid glass poured into it and like a form, kind of like you would like do concrete or something? Where I'm assuming you put like a form in there and then you fill it like. But the thing I wonder about is the back glass of this tank is the support. If we patch it, is it still going to have the same strength? Which says I wouldn't do it, but if June thinks you can, she has a lot more experience with big tanks than I do. I would blow to her experience over to mine. Repurpose the 300. Go ahead and build the plywood aquarium. No, it was told. Yeah, I just don't know because like your back, like a bone. If you break a bone, it's never the same. It never heals the same. It'll never be the same. We've got this half-inch, big, huge piece of glass that's cracked. Can you fix it? Can you repair it? Will it be the same? Will it still hold the same? Will it still have the same structural integrity over time? So, last thing I want to do is fill this tank up, put a bunch of fish in it, and it blows out. To be clear, you will put resin in the corner where all those panes of glass meet and then extend the resin to the spiderweb crab. You are plugging the corner and patching the panel. Yeah, I think what you're talking about, Richard, is like you see in a commercial where they inject the cracks with this stuff and it fixes it or something like on your windshield. The plug will rebond the panes together. Okay. Uh, Sounds like you have some experience with that, Richard. I could definitely use the input. I'm willing to try it. Some say they wouldn't. I just don't. I want to use the tank. I have it, but obviously it'd be nice to fix it easier and cheap as possible. I'd love to not have to take the aquarium apart if I don't have to. All right, Richard. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Thank you, June, as well, and everyone that's talked about it with me. Um, Definitely need to figure out how I can fix this thing as cheap as possible. From what I've seen, the crack stop because the overflow blocks. Over time, it will continue pushing and separate the overflow from the back glass. Well, that's fine because I want to take that overflow out anyways. Best test patch it, fill with water, and let it sit for 7 days. You will know. I'm a chicken when it comes to that stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you joined the live too, June. Yeah, Richard, man, but dang. Well, the nice thing is my fish room's out in the garage now, so if something happens, it's not as big a deal. But you're still talking about a hellacious mess. All right, guys, it's over 2 hours. I do have to jump off. I got some things to take care of. I certainly appreciate everybody's time coming in and hang out with me, giving me your advice, your experience. Please keep up with me in the Discord on this. Uh, Richard, you're gonna give me your information there about how you think a patch might work. Any suggestions? I know that my three options, but if there's a fourth option that I don't know about, that's what I'm all about. Basically, you would need to know the whole panel for the patch. Right. All right. Jim's Fish, Swiffle. Send me your addresses and Discord. I will get your winnings to you. It's been a great live stream. Love hanging out with you guys. You're all wonderful. Appreciate you all. Thank you to all my members. Thank you to all my subscribers. Appreciate everybody. So I'm out. I got some things to take care of. I got yards to mow. I got chores to build. And I'm hungry at the same time. So thank you for coming. Bye. Thank you for joining, Richard. Appreciate you. And you guys think about over what I talked about these products for the members only giveaway. So is anybody interested in the fish waste collector? Talk to you later. See you out in the field.